Hello everyone, welcome to Christian Jones, episode 4. At the end of episode 3, a man had told Persephone to block him. Someone calling themselves Franklin had sent Julie a friend request, and Julie had told him she was going to work and that he needed to sort things out with her mother. The following morning, I woke up to find Julie had sent me lots of recordings of conversations she'd had with him overnight, which I'll play you in a minute. And so Persephone messaged him and said, "Have you managed to get to the airport? You've had plenty of time to hitch there from Nazareth overnight." "Good morning. I just chatted to Julie that you've not been online. It's called being in bed at night. I assume you're now at the airport. You're a fit army officer. I think it's 28 miles. So you could have walked there overnight or hitched a ride." Julie abused me. That I'm a poor beggar. "You are, she's right, and you're ignoring my question as usual." Why did he think that Julie had abused him? Well, here are all the conversations he'd had with Julie overnight.
A little later on, after I got to my job at the bank, I messaged Christian, "Hi, I'm at work now and have some time before the doors open. So, did you discuss with Mum what you're doing and whether I start booking flights out or what?" To which my scammer said, "I told her I'm at Nazareth, but I don't have any money with me to go to the airport as she suggested." To which I said, "And you can't access your account, I'm guessing, though I do not know why not. I had no issues when I was there. I don't understand why you couldn't get access to your bank. It doesn't make sense. All military get paid and can use the canteens and other paid services. What's your closest airport?" At which point he vanished for a while. So I poked. I said, "Looks like you're only a couple of Ks away from an airport. You can literally walk it or hop on a truck or bus. Once you get there, send me your ID and the flight details and I'll book your ticket." Which made him vanish again, and then he returned later on. "So what means do I see truck here?" he states. I don't know, guys. I said, "Sorry, what? Want to write that again in English, please?" "I should enter bus without any money here with me, Julie. Think about it," he says, accusing me of being illogical. To which I responded, "What? You don't even have a single dollar? No cash at all? Then walk it. It's close by. You don't even need to drive to the airport. In fact, there's about 5 airfields right near Nazareth." And in response to think about it, I said, "I am, and I've never heard of a single adult anywhere who can't even scrounge up bus fare, let alone an American soldier. America takes care of it, their soldiers. If you're still stuck because of your commander, then walk or hop a truck." Which, the response for what, "You don't even have a single dollar," he said, "I don't even any dollar here with me," said our clearly American. To which I responded with, "That's irresponsible of you. Why would you do something so silly? I understand not having hundreds in cash, but not even a dollar. That's something a child would do, not a mature military man. How old are you anyway?" "Mum didn't tell me." "Help me with $300, Julie. Try and understand my situations, please." Which is a scammer language effectively for "please stop asking questions and just send me the money." So in response to "try and understand my situations, please," I wrote, "I understand that your commander did something illegal and I'm in the process of dealing with that through the American Embassy in Israel. Brackets, they will contact you, by the way. But I don't understand why you wouldn't have any money or access to a bank. How old are you?" "Mum didn't tell me." And in response to "help me with $300, Julie," I said, "Sure, just need to verify your identity and then I can send it." Which sparked a little flame of hope in our scammer's heart. "It's international wire transfer," he said hurriedly. I said, "Yes, so I'll need to verify your identity and then the account holder's ID, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. Luckily, I'm at work in front of my computer. Easy, just waiting for you to send it all." Smiley face. "Should I send the account details?" he hastily puts in. I said, "Also, $300 will not get you out of the country." And in response to the account details, I said, "Please send your identification and the identity of the account owner. Thanks. Also, you didn't tell me your age. I've asked 4 times now. Google flights and their costs. It'll cost you $5 to get to the airport from Nazareth." To which he now comes back with, listen, I can't send you my ID to a civilian. It's my personal information, okay? So I responded, okay, then good luck to you, Mr. I just met you yesterday. Let's see if irony and sarcasm go right over his head. I added, no skin off my nose. Take care and good luck. We'll see what he responds. In response to being told that it was no skin off my nose and good luck for not sending me his identification, Christian proceeds to go, okay, and then quite good-naturedly said, are you sending me the $300? Oh, he's a wit, guys, he's a wit. To which I responded, so you didn't read what I wrote or you're impervious to irony. I don't know you. You're meant to be close to my mother. If you can't send an ID to verify, then what am I supposed to think, huh? You were calling me your daughter only a few hours ago. Was that all bullshit then? To which he responded with, but I can't send you my ID, Julie. If you really want to help me, you won't stress me this way. To which I then responded, why not? That's ridiculous. You expect people to send you money and you won't even verify your identity. This is why you're broke and stuck in Israel with a criminal commander. You'll have to wait for the American military police to help you in that case. And in response to, if you really want to help me, you won't stress me in this way, I responded with, okay, goodbye. I guess you'll be fine alone then. No problem. Bye. Which he hasn't seen for 10 minutes. We'll see if he returns. So Christian returned, and as you can see is now live. I won't be fine, was his response to me saying goodbye. I guess you'll be fine alone, no problem. When I didn't respond, should I send the account details? Again, hoping I'd forgotten. I said, I told you, once I've verified your identity, then you may do so. Until you show faith and act like a mature military man, there is nothing I can do. I mean, you won't even tell me your age, let alone expect me to take you at your word. I haven't even spoken to you on the phone. To which he says, okay, tomorrow I will call you. I said, that's fine, but I'll still need verification of your identity. That's standard minimum requirement when begging strangers online for money, don't you agree? Which triggered our scammer. Wait a minute. I'm now a beggar to you. Sad face. I said, I don't know you. You're meant to be my mum's boyfriend. You call me daughter and you can't verify your identity. Julie, that was harsh to me, he laments. I said, that is nonsensical, juvenile and naive, and it's the truth, is it not? It's fine, he says, sending a sad face. I said, either verify your identity and the account holder's identity or good luck getting out. Simple. And in response to it's fine, I said, yes, it is. Then I continued, maybe mum will be foolish enough to send money to a stranger, but I'm not. Not without knowing the person. It's internet safety 101. Then he returned, okay, why do you call me mum boyfriend? To which I responded, I don't know. I'm just assuming you are. You told her you're looking for a woman and you want to visit her, didn't you? Or was that more lies? Who would send money to someone they aren't dating? I'll message mum now, which he thumbed up. So I added, tell her you are lying to her, which got his attention. Me seeing her at Leeds United in England, those it's her boyfriend. I don't know, guys. Answers in the comments. I said, where are you from and how old are you? I've asked you 8 times now. And in response to me seeing her at Leeds United in England, those it's her boyfriend, I said, Leeds United? What? She doesn't like football. Oh my God, you've never even been to the UK, have you? To which he responds with a very obvious, I have not. I said, then why are you asking why I'm calling her your boyfriend? And I thought so. Leeds United isn't a place, shaking my head. You're not American either, I can tell. Really interesting, he puts in with a snarky tone. I said, yes, it is, isn't it? No wonder you don't want to verify your identity. So, who I mine? He puts in very cryptically. To which I responded with, what does who I mine mean, please? That isn't English. Then I continued, How did you get into the army? Are you an illegal alien? Which obviously he didn't understand. So his response was, I'm a military personnel. My identity as a civilian. You don't have the right to know my identity. I'm from Texas. As if military personnel have different names and a secret identity. So in response to I'm a military personnel, my identity as a civilian, I went, yeah, then good luck and goodbye. And in response to I'm from Texas, I said, you're not though. Enjoy Israel, which obviously has triggered him off. No problem. I have checked out your Facebook friends. It's not even up to 10 friends. Are you for real? So in response to I have checked out your Facebook friends. It's not even up to 10 friends. I said, yes, because nobody under 35 uses Facebook anymore. Are you 70? And yes, I'm fully aware that people do. I said, I only use it to chat with mum and my relatives. And in response to, are you for real? I said, are you? Army personnel don't have secret names. This whole thing is ridiculous. You clearly don't want or need my help. To which he responds with, I really need your help, but you sees me as a beggar. To which I responded, I see you as what you are, a stranger who is messaging with my mother and asking for money. Red flags. Either you verify your identity or you can find another girlfriend to pay for your grand escape from your fictional army camp. Simple. So in response to, I see you for what you are, he tries a bit of reverse psychology. Please, where are you from? I believe you are not a citizen in Australia. And in response to, please, where are you from? I said, what? I'm from England and I live in Sydney, Australia. Don't you know where my mum is from? And in response to, I believe you are not a citizen of Australia, I said, that's your problem. I don't need money. You do. I added that I have a work visa. In response to, that's your problem. I don't need money. You do. My very insulted scammer goes, abuse me because I asked for your help. I said, no. Because you won't verify your identity when you're asking for money. It's ridiculous. To which he responds with, okay, I really love that country called England, said our Texan, apparently. To which I responded, you've never been, how would you know? To which he says, yes, I have not been there, but the country, it's peaceful. So I responded with, and you're clearly not American, so how old are you really and where were you educated? We finally got a response. I'm 43 years old and you? To which I said, I'm flabbergasted that you're saying you're 43. I'm sure you're actually 21. I am 29. Thanks for the insult, he said. So I continued, which is how I'm aware gift cards aren't used to pay bills and why I need your ID. To which he responds with, I requested it because it's easy for me to pay my bills. I guess I never committed a crime to ask you for Apple cards, which he actually did. You are sincerely hurting me, he laments. And in response to him never asking me for gift cards, I said, you actually did though. Read back. Mum showed me also. And in response to being told that I am sincerely hurting him, I said, that sounds like a you problem. Why are you doing this to me, Julie? Laments Christian when I just won't yield. To which I responded, because there are more holes in your story than Swiss cheese. Surely you must see that. No American would ever think the story you're telling is true or plausible. Anyone who knows anything about the military or basic internet safety would ever think it's reasonable. Okay, grammatically made no sense, but you guys know what I mean. Okay, came the response. Do me one favour. I wonder what that is. To which I responded, what is that? After a small nap, Christian returned. Are you back from work? I said, I just got in. Why? Okay, he says, not answering the question. I said, that's not an answer. I'm asking to know, he said. I said, why are you so hard to speak with? Why does it take several questions to get anything logical? ... I don't just know for the fact you probably refuse to help me and yet you call me a stranger. Make it make sense, guys. To which I responded, those two facts are not mutually exclusive, which would be apparent to anyone who is fluent in English. You tell outlandish, nonsensical stories and still expect assistance. It's naive and insulting. To which my insulted scammer goes, definitely because you are a British, right? Ah, British, I responded, says the non-American. Shall I guess where you're really from and tell my mother? I'm confident enough to wager that you aren't anywhere in Israel or in the military. Okay, he responded, because he was struck dumb at that point. I said, thought so. Can you just block me off? Rather insulting my personality. I have had enough of your insults, he declares again. I said, insult someone who lies to older ladies online and tricks them into sending money, rolling my eyes. Enjoy life. Goodbye. Okay, just imagine what the fuck are you talking about? I won't blame you. It's all my fucking fault. You know what? Block me, says scammer number 1 from the team. There are 2. I said, why? Why block him? This is much more amusing. I'm sure Mum will get up soon. She'll be thrilled, I'm sure. She'll be thrilled about what? He instantly put in. I said, what we have just spoken about and what I now know about you. About what? Came the panicked response. I said, why spoil the surprise? Enjoy. To which I got the following response. What surprised? Again, for God's sake. Getting very stressed and frustrated. I said, never you mind. That's between Mum and me. Okay. I have never offended you rather to or abuse you, he tries. To which I said, excuse me, you've sworn at me numerous times, you beg for money and don't provide any proof of identification. You're rude, entitled, very creepy and frankly laughable. Julie, you call me a beggar. I said, well, if it begs for money for days on end, then it's a beggar. Thanks, came the sullen response. I do not know you, I said. I offered to help for Mum. You've been difficult, rude, argumentative, and uncooperative. I'm 29, not 79. Don't assume I'm a fool, little man. To which the scammer came back with, which I apologise to you, nobody it's perfect in this life, realising everything was going very, very downhill. I said, I'm older than you, I'm sure of it. And in response to which I apologise to you, nobody it's perfect in this life, I said, no, you don't. You apologise, then you do it again. It's worthless. You're nobody to me. I don't need to bother with you. So either do what you're asked or go away. Easy. Okay, he said. I continued. If you want out of that imaginary army camp that doesn't exist, you need to provide proof of legitimacy. At which point he said, can you block me now? I said, no, I cannot. Just leave. Why? Clueless scammer. I said, I'll speak with Mum soon. And in response to why, I said, because you're hustling and I don't like it. Since I'm nobody to you. He tries with a little bit more manipulation. I said, exactly. Good job, little one. I will bet you $300 that you don't have an American accent. I wonder what Mum thinks of your accent. To which I got this ingenious response of, okay, really? I told you I don't have access to my account right now. I have money which I told your mum, apropos of nothing. My response was, accent, not access. Oh my God. Oh, and FYI, all military personnel have access to their banking. The military ensures that, so that's bullshit as well. Told you, I'm 29, not 79. Then I added, you really do struggle with basic comprehension, don't you? Mum was right. To which he answered with a very profound and deep, okay. Why do you refuse to block me? Says Christian, now christened Franklin. I said, why should I? This is your hustle, not mine. Which hustle are you talking about, please? He says, suddenly alarmed. I said, this nonsense you try, pretending to be in some military camp needing funds. It's old and tired. Anyone genuine wouldn't have any issue sending required paperwork when begging for money. Fuck you, damn it, says scammer number one. I said, oof, triggered? I said, maybe you'll get to my mum before I do. Maybe. She'll still believe me, though. Okay. Then I continued to poke. Hurry, hurry. Is she awake yet? Better hurry. Gonna beg her for gift cards again? To which Christian came back with, I asked your mum to block me, yet she refused. I said, so why are you still hanging around like a bad smell? Nobody else to beg? You are so rude to me, he laments again. I said, only since I learnt you're lying. How would you feel if some strange man was asking your mother for money online? Really, he said. He was a real wit, guys. I said, yes, really, shaking my head. You've said nothing to prove you are who you claim to be. Instead, you've told a bunch of lies that are easily researched and debunked. So I asked him again, how would you feel if some strange man was asking your mother for money? To which he took a long time to compose the following response. I won't feel bad, but if the stranger keeps asking, meaning it's serious to him or her, I have no options to render the person help. I said, no, that's bullshit and you know it. That's the biggest lie you've told. Shame on you. All this could have been easily done today if you just sent your ID. You decide not to, so live with the consequences of your decisions. And Christian isn't even your name. I'm going to call you Franklin. And that's because I had another account called Franklin hit up Julie exactly at the same time, and I think it's this scammer's partner because he has now become very triggered. So, how bullshit, I believe so honestly that it's better for someone to beg than to steal, says my scammer, telling me the credos of what they do. I said, so you are begging. Do you give to liars, people who lie to you? How, Franklin? Where did you get that name from? He hurriedly inserts. I said, and obtaining money via deception is theft, arguing semantics with a scammer now. And in response to how, Franklin, where did you get that name from? I said, that's who you are now, Franklin. You are very wrong, he said. I said, prove me wrong. How? I said, get on a call and show me your accent. Let's go, right now. And yes, you can make calls. That's also a bullshit lie. I'm asking you. I said, asking me what? What the hell do you call me, Franklin? Very triggered. I said, because that is your name now. What difference does it make when Christian isn't your real name? To which the scammer goes, I'm Christian Jones from Texas. I'm a military personnel, said my definitely not American. I said, no, you're not. Otherwise, you could show me easily enough. Show you what? I said, show me that American accent. Let's go, Franklin. Chop, chop. Some of us have lives. To which our triggered scammer now said, if you called me that name again, which is not my fucking name, I will block you, I swear to God. I said, okay, Franklin, block me. No money for you. Goodbye, Franklin. Now I will just quickly show you the account that hit me up exactly at the same time. Meet Franklin. This gentleman hit me up exactly at the same time as I was talking to Persephone's scammer. And they were online exactly at the same time. I actually now believe this is our scammer's friend. This is Mughal number 2, as I have dubbed them. Mughal number 1, Mughal number 2. Yet undeterred, our Christian/Franklin perseveres. You are 29 years, he inserts a few minutes later apropos of nothing. I said, why are you back, Franklin? Stop calling me Franklin, it's not my name. I said, no, and it is now. You're used to having different names. How? I guess we will be lovers one day, says Christian. And in response to how, I said, well, the man in the photos isn't you, is it? That's me, he said. And in response to guess we will be lovers one day, I said, darling, the day that happens, hell will freeze over. You wish you could be with me, like wishing for those gift cards. pointless. And in response to that to me, I said, we both know it isn't. So whenever you're ready to tell the truth, you can. Which truth again, Julie? And he was just playing fuck around and find out at this point. I said, I'm sure my mum will really understand. Not. And you tell me, Franklin, in response to the truth. To which he sends 3 laughing emojis. He was having a tremendously fun time. I said, or is it your friend that's Franklin? You know, Mughal number 2? Which stopped him in his tracks. Then he came back with, what are you even talk about, please? I said, never mind, you wouldn't understand, it's beyond your little mind. Where did this Franklin comes in? Still on the name. I said, that's your name. That's who you are now and forever. Poor little Franklin. I guess you like me, he tries. I said, you're the one who keeps coming back to beg. Mum should be up by now. No remittance for Mughal number 1 this morning. Sad. To which he responds with, what is Mughal? I said, it means idiot, fool, moron. You, Franklin, living in the imaginary camp with an imaginary rank and job. Do you know this word, imaginary? Which completely triggered him. So I'm now an idiot to you! 2 terribly angry faces. I said, yep, Franklin, shocking, huh? You can tell me to fuck off, but I can't call you an idiot. Typical Mughal. You really love me. I can see that, he tries. I said, honey, if I loved you, you'd have money in your pocket. Yet here you are, but I will tell Mum you hit on me. She'll love that. Which stopped him in his tracks. Really? He put in. Yep, really, I added. So, he said, ... I said, what now? I really love you from begging to love. I said, what? Want to write that in legible and coherent English, please, and not pidgin? To which Christian/Franklin, or Mughal number 1, comes back with, how? Oh my God. And in response to how, I wrote, how what? How to write in English? Why not try learning it instead of assuming people are too dumb to realise you aren't American? Oh, said our scammer. I said, yes. Oh. Please, are you back from work? He asks again. I said, you already asked that and I already answered. You really don't read well, do you? That's why you can't be military. They are required to know how to read. No, you have not answered me, or probably I didn't see the message, said Franklin/Christian. I said, then scroll back. Our chats, it's far, I can't scroll back. Answer me, he demands. So I said, that sounds like a you problem, doesn't it, Ben? And in response to being demanded to answer him, I said, get a real job. See how demands are met here? Was his incredibly intellectual response. I really appreciate you. He tries changing tactic. To which I responded, the feeling is not mutual. You're a grub. I added, this is getting boring. Either prove you are who you say you are or go away. I will be calling Mum soon anyway and have no desire to have you in my life. Why, but I have developed feelings for you, he claimed. To which I said, then at least you won't be begging Mum for money anymore, and I will inform you that I don't care what you feel. In fact, your admission has made me dislike you even more. I added, you're disgusting, for good measure. I have not asked Mum anything again few days ago, he tries. To which I responded, only because you thought I would give it to you. To which he sent a scammer emoji of crying, and I said, no remittance for you here. And added, Franklin, for good measure. I'm not forcing you to give it to me, he said. Whenever you wish, I'm fine. To which I said, that's rich, you couldn't force a fly to move. And in response to whenever you wish, I'm fine, I said, prepare to stay poor then. When my love, it's comfortable about life, he adds, with some profundity, I'm assuming. To which I simply said, go away, Franklin. You're boring. I added, Franklin Ozzo is your name, now and forever. To which my scammer said, I can't go away from you, my love. Love hearts. And added, sucks to be you then, Franklin.
At the end of episode 3, I said you were going to love his call to Persephone in episode 4. Well, I lied, because it seems that's going to be episode 5. I had no idea how much conversation there'd been with Julie overnight. So, I hope you enjoyed all of Julie's conversations, and episode 5 is back to Persephone. So, I'll see you again in Christian Jones / Franklin, episode 5.